Yo, so this is the deal. We're about to polish these suckers out. It looks freaking awesome. Hey guys, how's it going? Super excited about today's video. It's a little bit different than normal. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a new product unboxing and then trying it out on one of the cars. Right off the bat here, you can see beautiful presentation. They did a really nice job with this cutout foam case. So something like this, you know, we detail at each other's houses a lot. Being able to carry this in a travel pack like this with everything all in one is going to be super nice. You even got a little bit of extra storage up front here. I'll probably put some mini bottles of polish and stuff like that in there. Some microfibers and things like that, and then just have kind of like a quick polishing kit for, obviously you're not going to do a whole car with something like this. This is going to be for fine detailed spaces, interior pieces, etc. and stuff like that. So let's get in. First thing I already kicked out of here, it looks like we've got the backing plate, like a 2-inch backing plate. Looks like we've got a nice plastic cover for the head of the polisher so that you're not getting any burns on any other surfaces you're not trying to hit. Got a little bit of an offset tool. This can work as a DA as well. Sort of offset it a little bit. Looks like a 1-inch backing plate, which is nice. These both on the older models of these SPTAs, they had plastic threaded backing plates. Not ideal. Got metal threaded ones now, much nicer. And then obviously your tools to tighten it and everything else. So got that stuff. It looks like it does come with an extra battery, which is super nice. These are 12 volt, 2000 milliamp per hour batteries. Got a little charger here it comes with. It looks like it's a pretty good amount of pads. It comes with 2-inch pads, 1-inch pads, and 2-inch and 1-inch wool pads. So foam, wool, 2-inch and 1-inch. Pretty sweet selection. I'm sure that these are probably not the easiest thing to find online. I don't know. Maybe there's a bunch of resources out there for the mini pads. I do like the battery comes charged. I do like that. Let's see if the battery on the actual unit is charged. We have action. Oh, that's cool. So, as you can see there, instead of it just being like a dial that, you know, you can finally adjust, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about getting it to the exact RPM that you were. But also, I don't know, some of you guys out there might really like the fine tunability of a dial. One thing I like about that is I'm never going to worry about that getting bumped into while I'm working. So you're never going to accidentally slow it way down or speed it way up, which is nice. That's definitely not something that you want to do while your pad is in contact with any sort of a surface on the vehicle. So yeah, this is a pretty quick unboxing. I got this piece on Amazon. It was extremely highly rated. It was compared online to some other $400 and $500 polishers. I'm sure that it's not going to have the longevity of those $400 or $500 polishers, but again, this is not something that is a heavy lift tool. This is something that you do minor spots, fine detailing, interior pieces, trim pieces, and stuff like that. That, you know, the black plastic pieces that on every vehicle get scratched up. They're usually in kind of tight spots, stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to using this piece for that. So, enough talking about it. Let's get this sucker put together and put it to use. I think you guys are going to be stoked about what we're polishing today.
guessed it. We're gonna be polishing out the carbon fiber wheels on the Porsche. After the rally, we got a little bit of road wear here and there. And a lot of it I don't think is gonna come out. You know how carbon fiber can be. But reality is that I think they could get a decent amount shinier. You guys can probably tell just from that right there. So these are filthy. They've not even been cleaned yet. We're gonna go through, clean them first, and then polish them out, see what they look like. We're just gonna hit it with a little glass cleaner first. I just want something that's kind of aggressive in getting some of this road grime and grease off. That way I know I'm not rubbing any rocks or anything dangerous into this wheel. So gonna be really cautious here. Never polished one of these wheels. Couldn't really find anything online about anybody polishing these wheels. So if you know anything about the Porsche exclusive Turbo S wheels, you know that they are not cheap. So we are going to do a very inconspicuous test first and kind of go from there. When it gets to the polishing part, I'll go ahead and do a quick cleanup on these though and see how she looks. Even with carbon ceramics, we're still picking up quite a bit of grime on there, obviously. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually try to polish on top of one of these spokes first. Might be a little difficult for you to see. I'll grab the camera and get a better angle once I've got some work put in on it. But again, I wanna hit a non-conspicuous spot first, just in case my polish or pad combination isn't exactly dialed in. Guys, as you probably can tell at this point, I'm not an expert on anything. I am just a guy who likes doing this type of stuff, so hopefully you're a fella or gal that can enjoy watching this and knowing that everything I do, I'm not claiming to be 100% perfectly right. But that's how you find out, so we'll get into it. I think I'm gonna start with one of these red pads. It's the least aggressive as far as the cut goes. And then I'm going to start with some ultimate polish. Your local O'Reilly's will carry it, not anything super high end. But again, I wanted to start with something not super aggressive as far as the cut goes. So we're just gonna do a couple of little dabs here. All right, now that we got the wheel all grime removed, let's throw some of this polish on there. We'll work it in at a slow speed and then just kind of see from there. I'm gonna work it in at a no speed first actually, because I really don't want to get anything on my carbon ceramic rotors. This might even be a position where a 1-inch pad works better, but we're trying it out. That's what this is for. Okay, so I'm not looking for a drastic difference here. Just hoping for a little bit of clarity to be restored. A drastic difference in this scenario would probably not be a good thing, so we'll see. So at first glance, it does look nice and clean, but it doesn't look drastically different than the rest of the wheel as far as like actual shine quality goes. So we'll keep working a little bit, maybe try a little bit more aggressive polish and pad and go from there. Okay, so while test 1 doesn't have a drastically different result, I would still consider it a success because I didn't ruin my wheel. So what we're gonna do next is bump up a step on the polish and go to an actual compound with a little bit more aggressive cut. Throw that on the same red pad, see how it does, go from there. So we'll slap some of this compound on it. Just a dab and a half here. All you need. We're gonna take it up and go up on this edge of this rim here. Now that I know it's safe to do this, I'm gonna take it on an area that'll be a little bit more easy to see if it does polish out a little bit more. So again, a low/no speed apply. For sling reduction, we're gonna move this stuff out of the way so I can get a little bit better angle here. Sling reduction. Nobody wants polishing compound on their Porsche carbon ceramics, so we must take precautions. Here we go. Get this worked in at a nice slow speed. Not putting any pressure really, more or less just setting the pad on there. Let's bump it up a little bit. See what we get out of this. I feel like that was sufficient. Let's see what we're rocking with here. Yeah, I will say I thought the 1-inch pad was going to be a little overkill, in meaning like too mini of a mini polisher, but I can already tell you right now this 2-inch pad would be too big to get into all these wheels. I'd probably go ahead and knock this all out with a 1-inch pad. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely just knocking off some of the dullness and maybe some of the sun fade that was on there. Man, that feels really nice. I'm not sure if you guys can see a difference on the camera or not, because we are talking about obviously polishing fine scratches here, but let's move this a little bit closer and see if we can get that to focus. So what I was curious is if this polish was going to bring it back to these types of clarity here that you see at random spots of the wheel. And it's looking like the answer is no. I'm not sure if this wheel is meant to have some sort of a protective finish, because you can see there's almost a hard line right behind it all the way through, where it's significantly shinier back there in the back. And so I'm gonna guess that's some sort of a coating. All right, y'all. I think the verdict is out. It certainly cleans up the finish of the wheel. It is much brighter. However, it's certainly not gonna get all the way aggressive enough to get down into maybe what is the clearer part of this carbon fiber. Again, I'm not interested in going super aggressive on something like this. Have zero interest in replacing these wheels because I over polished them. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to throw a 1-inch pad on that sucker and go to town. So
Polish up this whole wheel and go from there and see how she looks.
all right, so what I did here was I swapped to a 1-inch pad. I swapped to the orange pad, which is the medium hardness. And then we're going to go over this whole wheel basically and just kind of do a nice polish on it, get it cleaned up. So let's go for it. Starting to come along.
Okay, so we just hit this wheel with some CMX. Let it dry for about 10 minutes. Buffed it off. It looks freaking awesome. Like, it looks incredible. Again, the wheel really does look better in person than on camera. Those high and low spots are really, really highlighted on camera. They're visible in person, but certainly not to the same degree as they are on the screen. But yeah, this is a substantial difference. Now, spin this side. So, just a lot more dull on this side. I'm really looking forward to cleaning that up. Shout out to Redline Rallies. Can't wait to do another one. The car's looking pretty good, but definitely need to get that windshield replaced. So breaking the mission real fast, we have a helicopter. All right, well, not really sure what's going on there, though it was very cool to watch. Dot on there. I'm gonna take a different approach than I did on the back wheel. Try to do a majority of the spokes at once, and then come in and get some of the voids. Get it worked in here. I'm sure you can hear that tapping. It says a plastic, but it's a very hard plastic and it's over metal cover on it. So it's just typically that plastic cover. Not doing any damage. Alright, let's get it cranked up and do some polishing. Yeah guys, the difference here is pretty sweet actually. You're really starting to see some of the Some of those small, finer scratches go away. And there's a pretty big difference between the lip and these spokes where I've polished. Looking pretty nice. About to hit it with a little bit of ceramic coat for a little extra protection. Stuff works pretty good. We'll wipe it all over the wheel. Let it haze up, dry on for about 10 minutes. And go through and buff with a different rag. Go from there. All right, so we got the CMX buffed off. It's been one step polished now. Spray ceramic coated, so nothing too permanent. Overall, in person, looks really, really good. I'm looking at the footage on the camera too. It doesn't look as good on camera as it does in person. The wheels pop pretty good, but I can tell really on camera that those different colorations really pop through on camera. But that's going to be the end of the video. I'll do the other wheels off camera. But first time using the SPTA Mini polisher, 12 volt, 2000 milliamp per hour battery. 1-inch polishing head is what I use today. I can see the 1-inch polishing head being extremely useful. The 2-inch, I mean, honestly, you can put in a decent amount of work on a reasonably sized body panel with the 2-inch. Yeah, so honestly, very impressed. Used it with the DA offset and without. Yeah, really, really liked it, honestly. So would definitely recommend this. It's like 120, 130 bucks on Amazon. Seems well worth it. And yeah, can do quite a bit with it. So definitely has my approval. Again, guys, I'm not a professional, so this is my opinion, you know, but I would feel free to tell me in the comments what I did wrong. Feel free to tell me in the comments what you use for doing types of jobs like these and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys. Take it easy.